The third and the last phase of assembly elections is underway in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Security has been heightened in the valley amid the polls, especially in the region close to the international border. Areas like Baramulla, Kupwara, Bandipora, Kathua and Uddhampur are close to the line of control and international border, where polling is underway amid tight security. 29 polling stations are situated near the line of control. Voting is taking place from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. local time in 16 constituencies in Kashmir and 24 constituencies in the Jammu division. Over 20,000 polling staff were mobilized on Monday across 7 districts of Jammu and Kashmir. The Election Commission of India set up 5,060 polling stations with 240 special polling booths. Among these are the pink polling stations managed by women, stations designed for individuals with disabilities, and those run by youth. Additionally, there are 45 green polling stations aimed at promoting environmental awareness. Now, in this phase, the third phase, nearly 3.9 million voters will decide the electoral fate of 415 candidates, including 2 former Deputy Chief Ministers, Tara Chand and Muzaffar Beg. Prominent candidates in the last phase of assembly elections are Sajjad Ghani Lone of People's Conference, Raman Bhalla and Tara Chand from Congress, and Muzaffar Hussain Beg fighting as an independent. All right, for more on this, our special correspondent Idris Lone joins us live from Bandipora, Jammu and Kashmir. Idris, of course, we connected with you earlier in the day as well. It was shortly after the polls had just started and we already saw a big queue behind you. People were already queuing up in the hundreds. Talk to us about what's the condition, what's the situation right now. It's about 2 hours since the polling would have started. What's the turnout looking like?
Well, Shirin, if we look at the long queues, they are unending. Especially in the Bandipora district, every polling booth we have visited since morning, we are seeing long queues of people. So far, if the government has not really given out the details of the percentage of the voting as of now, but it seems like North Kashmir is living up to its expectation. In the parliamentary election, we saw huge participation of people in the northern part of Kashmir, and this time also in districts like Bandipora, Baramulla, Kupwara, we are seeing and getting visuals from all across that there is a huge participation of people at every polling booth in these areas. Let me tell you that this used to be earlier the National Conference's bastion, but in the last few elections, what we have seen, especially in the parliamentary election, that Engineer Rashid, who heads the Awami Ittihad Party, is actually one of the biggest contenders. He's not fighting himself, but he has his party leaders who are in direct contest with the PDP, National Conference and Congress, as well as with the BJP supporting parties. So it's going to be a very interesting mix this time in northern Kashmir, where huge participation of people, as well as there is a bouquet of leaders that they have to choose from. So the choice is really big as well, and every polling booth that we've been to, there is a different sense, there's a different mood of people. This is also the first election that is taking place after the abrogation of Article 370. So it's going to be a litmus test for the BJP in terms of whether that has really worked on the ground for them, and also to see that National Conference, PDP, Congress, they have been talking about the rights of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Whether that will work on the ground, that is to be seen on the result day, which is on October 8. But at the moment, people coming out in big numbers to cast their vote.
Idris, if you can elaborate a little more on the differing sentiments. As you said, in different polling stations, people have different sentiments. It's a whole bouquet of, contestants that they need to be now choosing from. Give us an understanding of who all are in the fray, the individuals, of course, the parties. The Jammu division, which pretty much forms the major chunk of the seats which are going to polls today, had got a good response back in 2014, the last time the assembly polls were held. But again, as you mentioned, this is a litmus test for the BJP as well. If you can give us a better understanding of the parties involved and the individuals.
Well, exactly. Shivam, if we talk about the Jammu division, where 24 assembly constituency seats are going to polls, we have to see the parliamentary elections that concluded recently. In that, BJP had a clear victory. But if we look at the voting share, the Congress was not very far behind. So it seems that there is going to be a tough competition between the Congress, which is being supported by the National Conference as the part of the India Alliance. They are pitted against the BJP. So they're not going to have it easy, definitely, in the Jammu region. But if we talk about the Kashmir region, especially in the northern part of Kashmir, Sajjad Ghani Lone of People's Conference has always, from the last 3 elections, won his assembly seat. And it seems this time he might be able to keep his seat. But his other leaders will also have tough competition. Especially with Engineer Rashid, who's out of the jail after 5.5 years and has been aggressively campaigning for Awami Ittihat Party. They had collaborated with the Jamaat-e-Islami in the south of Kashmir, but in North Kashmir they have gone solo. So they're going to be a tough competition for the rest of the parties. The National Conference and Congress, although seems to be at ease in the Kashmir region, especially in the northern part, in Baramulla as well as in Handwara divisions, where it seems that their coalition might actually work on the ground. Looking at the vote share of the parliamentary elections as well, Umar Abdullah was not that far behind from the Engineer Rashid when he lost to him in the parliament election. So this time it's going to be extremely interesting because assembly elections happening after 10 years and also the first assembly election after the abrogation of Article 370. So the people really have to decide on the issues, although most of them have been talking about the issues of development, but also some of them that we spoke to since morning have been talking about the regional political parties promising them that they will be able to restore Article 370 and 35A.
All right, Idris, of course, the results will be out in about a week's time from now. Till then, one can only gauge from the enthusiasm that one can see from the crowds, at least the ones standing behind you. Everyone seems extremely eager to come in and cast their ballot and, of course, vote for whoever they choose at this point. We'll need to wait and watch. We'll connect with you later in the day as well to get us the latest. That was Idris Lone joining us from Bandipora, Jammu and Kashmir.